My name is Dave Sherman. Today we're going to do a review on the BYD Shark 6. This is a 2025 model. We've got first one in Colombia. We got this about 4 months ago. We've got 5,000 kilometers on it. So we've gone to Cali from Medellín. We've gone out to the ranch multiple times on it. Really loved the truck and thought that we would take some time and kind of show everybody what it's all about. So the BYD, for those of you that don't know, it's a Chinese, the largest electric car manufacturer on the planet. I think it's bigger than Tesla, but they don't allow them in the United States, so you guys probably won't get these. And it's a hybrid electric, but it's a little bit different than most hybrids, as the fact that the engine itself never touches the powertrain. So the engine is only meant to charge the battery. It's got a bigger battery than what most hybrids would have. It's got a battery that has like 65 miles of total EV range. And again, you could set a minimum state of charge on it. So say I want to keep it at 30%, so I've got some backup. The engine will kick on. The pedal has nothing to do with that engine. When it wants to charge, it's going to ramp up or ramp down. The engine only does, it's got two electric motors, one for the front, one for the back. That makes it full-time all-wheel drive. It's got 430 horsepower. It goes 0 to 60 miles an hour in like 5.3 seconds. So this thing is fast. I think it's faster than the Ford Raptor. Maybe not over the 100 mile an hour mark, but off the line, like cutting around trucks on the way out to the ranch, this thing is phenomenal. Like, it's get up and go is, again, what you'd expect out of an electric vehicle. So it's pretty sweet. Let's have you walk around here and we'll show you the interior. Interior is pretty nice. Leather, red stitch. So I think first things to note are the seats. They're ventilated and they're heated. Pretty nice leather stitching on it. Nice center console with a lot of room in it. Cool, I guess, center console thing. Start button, drop the bed. You've got the shifter here to go into drive, go into reverse. You've got your camera angles here, so you got the 360 view, which is pretty cool, pretty nice. You click on that as well from the steering wheel. You got your volume control for the music on your steering wheel. You've got the different modes. So you've got normal, you've got echo, you've got sport. I always leave it in sport. I feel that's where it should be. And you've also got the terrains, different terrains. So you can go in sand land. If you're driving in loose sand, you got muddy land, you've got mountain, you've got snowfield. And then to get out of that, you go back over to here to say, do you want to go to normal or sport, which is pretty cool. Control the AC through the center thing here. Go to the Android Auto. You got your music, you do your WhatsApp, maps, full map. All pretty cool. You've got here, if you come into the settings, which is here, I could look at the energy. And here's what I was talking about, where you do minimum state of charge. And so if I'm driving on a lot of hills and I say, well, I want to leave it at 50, because again, the gas engine, it's a 1.5 liter turbo. It doesn't play in at all to the wheels. It only goes into charging the battery. So you want to leave some state of charge. If you're just driving around the city, then it doesn't matter. But if you're going on a long road trip, I usually leave it at like 45 or 50. Again, the engine will just kick on in the background. I'll start charging the battery. Another cool thing about this is it's got regenerative braking. So that helps here in Medellín. There's a lot of hills. So when you're coming down hills, it regens. I think one thing to note there, because I've driven a lot of Teslas, I think the Tesla's regen braking is a lot more predictable. As soon as you come off the gas, the Tesla is slowing you down. This one has a few second delay. Sometimes it's 2 seconds, sometimes it's 3 seconds, so it's not as predictable, but it's still pretty good. And so you'll see that if I'm at like 80%, I leave the house and head to the office going down that hill, I'll get an extra 5-6% in the battery just from running down. I don't have to ride on the brakes. It kind of slows me down, like as if you were in a stick shift and you're downshifting, which is pretty cool. So here's the energy. You've got the vehicle, sound and display, all the other stuff, the driver assist and the system. It's all pretty basic, pretty cool. I like to be on that. Very spacious. The back seat is plenty of space. I came from the Toyota Helix, which is the South American version of the Tacoma, and this is much more space interior than the Helix for sure. So here you got pretty nice. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a gist. You got these lights here that are touch. So you just touch them. All pretty nice. Nice door handles, nice steering wheel. All in all, I think the interior is very nice. So that's that for the interior. Okay, let's get out and look at the exterior on it. One of the cool things is the bed. You hit this button here 2 times to open it. You've got a little step out stool thing here, which is pretty sweet. Come on up. You've got power. So the great thing about this is the ranch will lose power every now and again whenever there's a storm. So last time we were out there, that happened, and we were able to plug the fridge and the Starlink satellite into here and run this thing like a generator, right? Which is really sweet. Another cool thing, when you get to the ranch at night and you're gonna unload the bed, you got lights here. Can't see because it's obviously bright out here, but at night this lights up the entire bed, which is really sweet. Overall, good material. They got like the Rhino bed liner in here, which is nice. Okay, so this side is the fuel tank, gasoline. Got a pretty small tank. I think it's 11 liters. But again, day-to-day driving, I never use the hybrid electric. It's all electric to and from the office, around town, charge it every night. Even though after driving around all day, I probably only end up using 40% of the battery. But here's the electric plugins. You got that one and you got that one. This is the one that's hooked up at the house. So that's the main one that I use every night. Nice rocker panels, or step panels. I guess those aren't rocker panels. Pretty decent rims. A great front light. Obviously they ripped off the Ford Raptor on the light segment, right? But it's clean. I like it. I'd like to show you the back as well. The back light's pretty sweet. It's got good styling overall. Obviously I could do without the BYD, real big right here, but what can you do? Another thing I don't like is that the camera's on the bed or on the tailgate, and so whenever I've got this down, I got my motorcycle in it, you don't have your rear view camera anymore. But it comes with a tow hitch. It could tow 2,500 kilograms, which is, I don't know, fucking enough for anything that I'd be doing, so that's good. On the front, I think, you know, they obviously ripped off the Ford Raptor with the light bar and the way it runs across, but I think it's a good look. You know, I blacked out the BYD symbol. I also blacked out the side mirrors. I think it's a good touch, but yeah, very nice lights. These lights will kind of turn when you turn the wheel. So you can see the light a little bit more on the right when you turn to the right, a little more on the left when you turn to the left. Super bright high beams. When you lock it, the mirrors fold in, pretty nice. Another cool thing is if it's a hot day out, you're coming out, you could start the truck through the key from pressing this button. And that way it pre-cools before you get to it. Nice. All right, let's go for a drive. Okay, overall drive experience with this is like you'd expect with an electric vehicle. Very smooth, very quiet. I particularly like the regen braking because when you're driving in Medellín full of hills, you know, it's a pain in the ass running the brakes. You're smelling the brakes. Here it regens on the way down the hill, and then the get up and go is phenomenal. So we'll try to get going here nice and fast. I mean, this is great for driving out to the ranch. You're on a 2-lane, right, opposing traffic, and there's trucks you've got to pass. It makes hopping around them a breeze. So that is a huge bonus. The handling's really good. It's nice and stiff. Maybe a little bit too stiff, but that's probably to help with the handling. So, you know, Medellín has a ton of speed bumps, and so you feel them. It's definitely not like you're cruising right over them, but it does create a very firm driving experience when you're getting into speeds onto curves. So another thing I didn't really like about my Helix, it was a diesel manual transmission. You'd have to switch down into second. You know, you're in third and things slow down a little bit. You're having to rev out and get down into second. Here, again, I mean, it's so nice having like limitless torque is what it feels like, really. Very, very easy to drive. Obviously, it's an automatic, so there's no gears. It's just pure acceleration all the way to the max speed. What are the chances of this? There's probably 2 sharks in the entire city, and we happen to come across one of them. So one thing I want to touch on as well is the turn radius. So the turn radius on this isn't horrible. It's definitely not the best. You make that turn there, but it's not at the level of the Helix or the Tacoma, which I feel has a few degrees more, which ends up being a bit of a pain in the ass, but overall good. Good. One thing again that's good about the regen is that Medellín is full of these hills. So you can see here I got a -40. I'm at 46% battery, -49, -52, -56. That's all the power going back into the thing. Down this hill, we're going to end up having 2 extra percent into the battery. This is a typically difficult hill for cars to come up. Again, the limitless torque that this car has is excellent. Installed in the house for this, so we very rarely run the engine on this thing. It always runs in full EV mode. So you got 2 different charger ports here. You got the quick charger and you got a lighter charger here, but anyways, this one's good. Get it in there, and if you come around, you can see it tells you how long until it's going to be fully charged. So it's at 61% right now, and it's saying 2 hours and 13 minutes till it's fully charged. But if you watch that time, that's going to go down, is what it'll take to fully charge. And then on one charge, you'd get 100 kilometers of range, so like 65 miles of pure electric range. Pretty cool. Okay, well, at the end of the day, is it worth it? This car was 265 million pesos, which comes out to about 70,000. Obviously, it wouldn't be that expensive if you were in China or you were somewhere else. There are heavy import tariffs in Colombia that make the vehicles across the board more expensive. The Helix, for example, I think is like 290. It's like 80,000. So I think for the bang for the buck, yeah, I mean, I think it's a great truck. Easy to drive, fun to drive, very comfortable to drive. I love the truck. Yeah, I got no complaints whatsoever, besides maybe the fact that the regen isn't as predictable. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 seconds to kick in. Sometimes it kicks in stronger than other times, which seems kind of strange. But yeah, no other real major complaints as of now. Good to go.